Ethan, you guys came out against Texas to make a statement. It seemed like early on you guys were being very physical at the point of attack. Maybe kind of take us through your mindset going into that game the rest of the year.
Just in terms of like how we're looking in the future, I mean, I think it gave us a lot of confidence. Obviously, a win would have given us more confidence, but I think it truly, I mean, the line on the game was 38.5 points. Nobody expected us to go in there and put up a fight like we did. People always say there's no moral victories in defeat, and I mean, that's true. But there is lessons that you could take away from it, and I think it's just realizing the potential that we have when we're executing, doing the things we need to. So,
2 straight games that you guys have ran the ball pretty well and done so this past weekend against a pretty elite defensive line. What has changed or what's working in the run blocking game?
I mean, we have installed a couple different plays, but for the most part, we're still running the same base plays. So, mentality, I really couldn't tell you. I think after the first couple games, we realized that we weren't doing that and that we were hurting the offense because obviously when you can't run the ball, people know you're just going to throw it and then they're just going to pressure you. So it ends up hurting the offense. But when you could get both of them to work at the same time, then the offense works smoothly. And I also think that's how we were able to hold the ball for so long, and I think it helps the defense out. So,
how do you feel like things can still improve in terms of pass protection, especially with a couple young quarterbacks back
there? We definitely need to improve. I need to improve. And the really aggravating part is it's stuff that we're coached on. It's nothing that it's not guys just getting overpowered or just out talented. It's really just locking in on your technique when the pressure kicks in, when you're tired. And like I said, it's a little aggravating with Mike being back there. You can't have that happening. He's already got enough on him. Having his first start against number 1 Texas, obviously that's a lot of pressure. I will say he didn't show it, so that's something. And I mean, I would expect him to show that. He was a little nervous, but I'll say it gave me confidence that he wasn't showing it to us, and I think that's important for the O-line to see that because you want somebody who's confident behind you, and when you don't, you start questioning how well you guys are going to perform. So.
How do you feel like he handled just kind of running the show and running a huddle and things like that? Because he checked some plays.
Yeah, I think he did really good considering the circumstances. I mean, true freshman, first start against number 1 Texas, 110,000 fans. I mean, in my opinion, you can't make a scary environment for your first start, especially at quarterback. So. I think he did a great job.
What are next steps for him, you think, for his improvement, and whether it's leadership thing, on the field thing? I mean, what do you think's next for him?
It's just experience. I mean, it's something that's going to take time. Obviously, you only get that from playing in games. So it's just a time thing, in my opinion.
Albert told us last week one of the things y'all focused on before the Florida game was footwork.
Yeah.
Up there, and it really showed. What are other things you want to focus on as you kind of get the line in full gear for this rest of the season?
Hands and pass protection is a big thing. And really just understanding leverage points of the D-line and the linebackers, and like sometimes I do a bad job. We're running inside zone. We got a 3-tech. He's outside the guard. And I'm just so focused on I gotta mess this dude up that sometimes I'll bury myself in the block, I'll leverage myself from the linebacker, end up hurting myself, hurt the run, stuff like that.
We tend to forget too that y'all just came together in spring. This is still a line still learning itself.
Yeah, and I mean that's an aspect that a lot of people that don't understand the game will never really comprehend. Like, I mean, obviously, that's the same case for the NFL. You're always having guys rotating in and out. But I could say, especially being at Arkansas State before the transfer portal was a big thing, we were with those guys together for 3-4 years. So, like, you build that chemistry, you trust each other, and that's a big thing, is trusting, especially in plays where, I don't know, 7-man slide protection. You got to know, guy behind you has your backside gap. Stuff like that. So,
What have you seen from Luke Ward so far?
Luke, I think he's going to be really good. Same thing with Mike. He needs more experience. It's only going to come from the games. And, like, that's the aspect of you could go do it in practice, but until you're put in the real situation and you got the adrenaline going and you hear the fans screaming, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and it's understanding how to actually apply what you're learning in practice in those situations. So,
Something to talk about with Coach. After these losses, still there seems an attitude of upbeat. We can make this happen. We're
Yeah.
enjoying playing each other. We enjoy playing with these coaches.
yeah, for sure. And I mean, I've been on 2 teams that went 2-10 and 9-3, and I've seen guys give up, and I've been there myself. You're like, oh, they're gonna play another game. We're probably gonna lose this week. Then it happens, and you're like, well, it becomes a habit, and that's like the one thing that I could say I'm not seeing from the team, and I'm not feeling myself at all, is it's not going the way we want it, but like the positivity that I'm seeing from the team is completely different than any other situations I've been in. So I think that's something that's building a foundation for the years to come. I understand we want to win. The fans, they want wins, but I think that's kind of that untangible aspect that people don't understand, is that you need to build a foundation first, and then you can build on top of it. And to just expect us, brand new team, brand new staff, come in 12-0, like, and I'm not saying that was the expectations that were set by the team or the fans, but kind of ranting, sorry. So,
Thanks, Ethan.
thank you.